Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. Trump White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt, like her boss Donald Trump, is now infuriating conservatives. And Leavitt's lies and false claims are getting more desperate.
But of course, any donation to this government is always done in full compliance with the law.
The Trump administration supports compliance with the law? Really? The latest controversy involves this.
Tonight, President Trump may be getting a new ride courtesy of the government of Qatar in the Middle East.
And while in Qatar, sources tell ABC News, President Trump is expected to accept what's likely the most expensive gift a foreign government has ever given to a U.S. president, a super luxury Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet. Aviation experts say the plane is worth an estimated $400 million.
CBS News has learned it's poised to be a gift from Qatar's royal family. It is not ready for presidential use and would need to be retrofitted.
Do you worry that if they give us something like this, they want something in return?
Absolutely not, because they know President Trump and they know he only works with the interests of the American public in mind.
Wait a second. This propaganda sounds familiar. Oh, yes.
There is no presence of the American columns in the city of Baghdad.
Oh, he's just across the street from us. We'll go over and talk to him.
Baghdad Bob. Meet the Trump spokeswoman critics increasingly call Baghdad Barbie.
This is an extraordinary first step in the right direction. And thanks to the strength of President Trump, Secretary Bessent and Ambassador Greer were able to cut this initial deal with China.
We will get to the China deal and the Trump propaganda on that in just a moment. But first, on the Qatar jumbo jet that Trump claims will be the next Air Force One.
Could you tell us about this luxury liner that looks like a hotel in the air?
Well, the Qatari government has graciously offered to donate a plane to the Department of Defense. The legal details of that are still being worked out.
Actually, the legal details are not complicated. If Trump does this on his own without Congress, it's not allowed. As House Democrat Jamie Raskin of Maryland wrote on X, Trump must seek Congress consent to take this $300 million gift from Qatar. The Constitution is perfectly clear. No present of any kind, whatever, from a foreign state without congressional permission. And never mind the Constitution, Trump's own conservative supporters are blasting him. Headline, Laura Loomer slams Trump over Qatari jet, calls it stain on his presidency. I am so disappointed. Conservative Eric Erickson, the Qatari government is not our friend, cooperates with Iran and its proxies, and funds terrorism and pro-terror propaganda around the world. Marina Medved, no, this is insanely dangerous. Just handing her national secrets straight to Qatar. But back to Trump Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. On this day, she tried to also spin this.
China agreed to reduce their tariffs on the United States by 115%. They also agreed to continue having discussions.
Wow, China agreed to continue having discussions with Trump's team. Amazing. Also not so amazing, the reduction in tariffs that Leavitt mentioned are only temporary since there's still no overall deal. Plus, Mediaite headline, Trump was forced to back off. Fox Business reporter drops blunt analysis of Trump's trade cave. Charles Gasparino on X. I guess the notion that tariffs will pay down the deficit and for the tax cuts is off the table. Also, there is no agreement on rare earth minerals that the United States needs from China.
I also know that the administration is working overtime 24/7 with a dedicated team to onshore that very critical supply chain here at home. After building the greatest economy in the world in his first term as president, President Trump is in the process of doing that all over again.
We crushed the forces in Saddam International Airport, and we cleaned the whole place of the airport.
Hey, we're coming from the right side!
The American people trust in President Trump.
Actually, according to all polling, a strong majority of Americans do not trust President Trump. And Karoline Leavitt isn't exactly helping the Trump White House with credibility.
And President Trump was instrumental in negotiating a ceasefire with India and Pakistan. This is all in the last week.
Actually, officials in India and Pakistan dispute Trump's claim of being instrumental. Headline, India-Pakistan war. U.S. has made a big mistake by taking credit for the ceasefire, Kanwal Sibal. Quote, Foreign Secretary Kanwal Sibal criticized statements, particularly from U.S. President Donald Trump, suggesting American intervention was key to halting the conflict, thereby diminishing the roles of India and Pakistan in the decision.
So the president is signing an executive order today that is going to implement most favored nations drug pricing. It is going to reduce the cost of drugs in this country by more than half at least. America is going to pay a better rate and a fairer rate to the rest of the world. That's what the American people deserve. This is huge news.
It would be huge news if a U.S. president could unilaterally set industry price controls like in a communist country. But experts point out that all Trump can do is lobby and put public pressure on pharmaceutical companies to lower prices. And by the way, Donald Trump signed an executive order his first week in office that raised prescription drug prices. And again, Donald Trump has lost credibility with most of the American public and has also lost the trust of many of his own supporters. A clear majority of Americans simply do not believe Trump on most issues and do not think he will use the power of the presidency responsibly.
Look at where we've jumped to now. 54% of Americans have no confidence that Trump will use the power of the presidency responsible. And so this just tells you on every single different data point you could possibly look at, whether it be Trump's overall approval, whether it be the issues for Donald Trump, or how he conducts himself in office, all of these numbers are pretty much terrible for Donald Trump at this point.
But let's put aside public polling. What about real accomplishments?
President Trump's efforts are working.
We're going to run 90 deals in 90 days is possible.
The Time interview with President Trump. He said that he has made 200 deals on tariffs. 200 deals? Who has he made deals with?
I believe that he is referring to sub-deals.
Okay, we now have sub-deals with the United Kingdom and China. But neither are full comprehensive agreements. And even if you only want to count framework agreements, the Trump administration has only announced 2 so far, not 200. The bottom line is that Donald Trump and Karoline Leavitt are flailing. And even the Trump team's most staunch conservative supporters these days are generally unhappy and are specifically infuriated over things like a $300 million airplane gift from Qatar, a country that sponsors terror groups. Iraq's Baghdad Bob only had to spin losing a war. Karoline Leavitt and Donald Trump are spinning, in absurd fashion, nearly everything. By the way, Trump administration ICE agents are now getting more aggressive, and a recent raid in Massachusetts prompted neighborhood chaos. In Worcester, Massachusetts, ICE agents are pushing back a teenager after arresting her allegedly undocumented mother. The mother also has a baby. There you can see police shoving and arresting a neighbor. Amidst the chaos, more than 25 people surrounded the ICE agents and demanded they produce a warrant, but the agents refused. Video obtained and published by the New York Post shows the car where ICE agents placed the mother and the teenage daughter holding her baby sibling. At one point, the teen and another girl, now with the baby, placed themselves in front of the ICE vehicle to try and block it.
They're quite literally trying to f***ing slow roll so they can move out of the way.
To try and break up the standoff and clear a path for the ICE vehicle, local police, who have now joined the scene, issue a warning.
This is the Worcester Police Department. This is an unlawful assembly. Order you dispersed right now. We're subject to arrest.
We need their names and badges.
This is the Worcester Police Department. This is an unlawful assembly. You're interfering.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from a user who wrote, "Call them what they are, Trump's Gestapo." I hear you. I look forward to reading your comments about Trump Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt suspending reality in a fashion that even Baghdad Bob would find unbelievable. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.